Hello, 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 people. Welcome to Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the trip. And as this, the title says, and I'll get into it a little bit more, statement game, statement made. But welcome me to the stage. We've got Spencer in the house. Welcome to the show, Spencer. How you doing?
Doing fine, doing fine. Hello, Tony.
Cool, cool. And we got Tony in the house.
Nice,
Tony,
Spencer.
how are you doing, sir?
I'm all right.
Cool, 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 cool. You'd be surprised, people. Everybody was here on time. Spencer even came, left, and was still back in time.
Yeah, I never
Imagine what the last 4 days have done for us. But we'll say hi to the people, and we'll get into it. Got Zanzi in the house. Got to see Zanzi on the screen this weekend. Saw him on Dan's channel. Actually got to see him in the flesh. He says, quad loading. We're on our way to Wembley. Yes, sir. Come on, you Gunners. Since 66 and stop swear. Oh, I did. Yeah, I did. Did I swear? I don't know if I swore. I did swear. I did swear, and we'll get into that as well. You've got Lonzo in the house. He says Hulk. I don't know what that means. But he did say Waka Waka. I know what that means. BX Gunners in the house. He says Killer the Thriller. Kai is him. Yes, sir. And hello, everybody. Got Brenny in the house. Thanks for joining us, Brenny. If you didn't check out, Brenny has a little reaction after the game. Check him out. And as only we ears could say, hi Gary, bye Gary. But this is Zanzi. Got Arsenal Misfit also in the house. Thanks for joining us, Stephen, from the north. I'm actually watching Game of Thrones right now, so I know all about the north. Yeah.
Never forget, Gary.
The north never forgets. So winter's coming. You know what I mean? But Wembley is coming. Wembley is coming. Arsenal has tickets set. Has a reservation booked at Wembley in, what is it, 5 weeks? I think somebody said. First trophy on deck. Arsenal gets a chance to go out there and get a trophy before everybody else, besides maybe what is it? Is it Newcastle? Yeah, Newcastle and City. They also have a chance to maybe get a trophy before everybody else. But don't matter. We're gonna usually I forgot that we had a game today when I created the thing, because I going into the weekend's game, which we'll talk about. We'll talk about today's game as well. But going into the weekend's game, I was saying to myself, this is a time for Arsenal to make a statement. After having a struggling last the last 5 games, they haven't really played, at least in the league, haven't played up to the levels that we expected them to. Going into that game, going on the road to Ellen Road. Ellen Road had been the monster killer, essentially. Monsters went there and got nothing. And if they did, it was just by the thread of their teeth. The City were able to squeak out a win late in the game, but otherwise everybody else got nothing. Even got some L's as well. But Arsenal going to Ellen Road this weekend. Whew. I don't know what you guys going into that game. I wanted a clean sheet, so I was thinking a 2-0 win would be okay for me. I know some people were thinking we would lose 2-0 because Leeds at home has been really good. They've only lost, I think, 1 game. But Arsenal on the road is just as good as one of the best teams on the road, and has had Leeds' number this year. So Spencer, going into that game, how are you feeling?
Anxious, I think, was the proper term. I was talking to somebody, and I was like, man, feels like it's been 100 years since been waiting for this game. And if I'm not mistaken, it was the Tuesday we played KAIRAT, right?
Yep. I think Tuesday. Mm-hmm.
So we had a good performance against them, and I'm not trying to bounce off the Leeds thing, but I guess my point being is you rebounded there, and then it was like, okay, let's do it in the league because the league's form has been very tricky. Like drop points against Liverpool, especially at home. The Forest game was horrific, and of course the United game. So there's a little bit of anxiousness, nervousness, but confidence. Once I started watching them play, I was okay with the lineup. But I was anxious. I think that was the best terminology for my description of how I felt watching the game.
Cool. Tony, Leeds.
The
We're going to
form
lead.
table does not lie, Gary. Or the table doesn't lie.
Table doesn't lie, but Leeds' form is not that bad for a team just coming
No.
up. So, tell me.
Table
You hate-
doesn't lie, Gary.
Table doesn't lie, but Leeds doesn't lie either. They've been monster killers.
Nope. They're monster killers. They want to be. Said more they are, Gary. 16th, 17th, wherever they're at.
But you've seen them play against the big teams. They struggle against the teams at their level. They actually have lost points with the teams at their level, but teams that they're supposed to struggle against, they've actually played well. I mean, I think they beat. Did they beat Liverpool?
I feel like they did.
They
I know one. I know
beat
one of them was
Chelsea.
a draw.
They drew to Liverpool. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was 3-3. I think was the Liverpool
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I
they
think the
beat-
best way to describe Leeds, and if I may, so to piggyback on Tony here, I think I was thinking about the form just around in the league and how Tony said the table doesn't lie, but there's nobody truly consistent in this league, right? We're seeing
Whoa.
outside of Arsenal. I know. Outside of the mini wobble we had in January, which again, who cares about that? But you just never know what you're going to get, and I guess that's what I was thinking about when Tony started talking about the table, and the table doesn't lie. We're seeing Liverpool struggle against Leeds. Chelsea lost to them. Arsenal had no problem with Leeds. Now Arsenal struggled with Nottingham Forest for whatever reason, but you just never know.
Wolves.
Right? Struggle. I mean, that's the most shocking one of the year, right? So you just never know what you're going to get when the game starts kicking off. But the league table does not lie. In individual matchups, anybody can get got. But we start talking about consistency over 5 or 6 games. That's when things are different, right? I think that's probably the best way to say it.
There's the chocolates in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them you spit straight into a napkin because they don't taste good.
That's true.
There's some of them you get all 4 or 5 of them out of a box at one time because you like those. But I thought it should be
Leeds are the caramel chocolates. They're always going to taste well. The ones with the fruit in the middle, which are probably like Wolves and Nottingham Forest. You pick those ones out thinking they're the caramel, but they're the fruit ones with a nut in it or something ridiculous. And you're like, you don't even get a full bite. You're already, like you said, spitting it out.
Yeah.
So you're you could have made a better example of Mounds and Almonds Joy.
Hey, my wife likes Mounds, so I can't
I can do
hate
both.
them that much.
Yeah, they're good. I can roll with it.
So you got to pick a different candy.
Yeah, but you have to pay attention. One has a nut in it. One doesn't.
True. Oh man! All right, let's go through the chat real quick to catch up. I want to try to keep up as we go through here. 5 weeks, and I already asked for the day off. There you go. Alonzo's off. They'll be watching that thing live. Good job.
Yep.
Winter is ending. What? It's plus 6 degrees, 44 degrees Fahrenheit. What? That is hot for him. 44 degrees Fahrenheit? That's got to be hot for you. Actually, when I left, I went out to the West Coast, and
75.
It snowed the week. It snowed the week before, so there was still like a foot of snow all on the ground. I came back. There's still a foot of snow on the ground, and I left temperatures in the teens, for temperatures in the high 70s. And I came back, and it was, it was 30 degrees. It actually had doubled. So it's hot. compared to what I left.
Yeah. We're supposed to get snow again Wednesday here, so
That's what I said. That's what I said. You didn't get any snow, right?
we did. So it was supposed to be like 8 to 9 inches, but because the air was so dry, it kind of broken up on the way down. So we ended up getting like 3 inches.
That's
So it could have
nothing.
been a lot worse. But that's fine. It still
Yeah.
shut schools down for 2 days.
Yeah.
We got a foot, and there's still plenty out in the fields.
Yeah, no, we got the foot and I didn't shovel. I didn't shovel early enough, so now it's kind of really tough to shovel.
Hmm.
So I've got it's hard to get in and out of the cars unless I park in a certain side of the driveway because it's the snow. So yeah, so here it is, March 22nd.
Yep.
Zanzi says we go check it out. We're gonna be. He says
He
we're gonna
tried
win
to
the
get
cup.
Gary to get a snowblower, but he refuses.
You know what? I don't have much to blow. Like I don't really have a long driveway because I park both cars in the driveway. The trick is to to back the cars up and then just shovel the driveway clear. But I didn't do that. So there you go. Yeah,
Gary.
yeah. Arsenal Misfit City predicted a 1-0 win against Leeds, but when it became obvious they were low block, I went to 5-0 as my prediction. Oh, yeah. No, I just figured they would play us a little tough, but they didn't. And we got our goals the old fashioned way for Arsenal.
You
Offset
know,
pieces.
I was thinking about this, right? So you just talked about Leeds, and I think Daniel Fark came out and said they tried to play numerous ways against Arsenal. You know, the Jamie O'Hara's and all these guys that are saying Arsenal are boring and stuff like that. I could tell you right now, I really believe that Arsenal scared the hell out of some of these managers in the Premier League. They can score from open play, contrary to 7, whatever. Who cares about the stats? But they can do it. They can score from set pieces. They can score from throw-ins. They can score from corner kicks. And corner kicks come from what? Being attacking. So I think that was the one thing I heard that Daniel Fark was talking about how good Arsenal were and how they tried different things and nothing worked. I think that's one of the ultimate compliments right there to what the squad has become.
Well, I say it all the time. We take what you give us.
Yeah.
If you don't give us some open play, open space, then we'll just take our time. And I hated taking our time. We'll get into that today, but I hated that we took our time today, but we did. Let me go through here. We got AFC. I think this is Rid. Is this Riddy? Rids FM. I don't know if this is Riddy or not, but Bosch. There you go, sir. Yes. Charlotte got a foot. Oh, you got a foot in Charlotte. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, they got jacked up in Charlotte.
Yipes, that's a lot. That's a lot. Boy, Tendio's in the house. I knew a guy who shoveled snow. He was built like a bar fridge.
It was 33 in Miami yesterday, Gary.
It was what?
33 in Miami, Florida.
Whoa, I didn't. Damn, there's some weird stuff going on in this planet of ours. Yes, that's the same temperature as it was about here. I'm sold. I got me a snowblower. Oh, there you go. See, I don't have much to snow blow. That's why I'm not gonna buy one. I should buy one of those. Like they have the ones that just the little battery packed ones. I should get one of those because when the snow's really soft, when it's early in the snow, you can just zoom. All I need is a space to walk on both sides of the car and to the garbage, so the garbage guy can pick up my trash. Otherwise,
there's some people who just use a normal blower and just go out in every hour or two.
Those are now going to be illegal in Virginia, the gas blowers.
Is that right?
Well, they're trying to ban them, but whatever. I'm not getting into it, but it's just he mentioned a blower and made me laugh. So
yeah, well, this is
can't do that in Virginia.
He said, I bet Charlotte didn't complain about getting a foot. So there you go. Let's talk about a different
topic. I plan on buying me an Ego one anyway. One with a battery.
All right. So, that Leeds game, you can tell me because I felt like I was watching it on my phone. I say watching it on the TV. Actually, the first half I got to watch on the TV because before I had to head out. But did we miss chances to score like truly from out open play? Outside, because it's the 27 minutes when we scored that that first goal, and
Nothing glares out in my head. I'd have to go back and rewatch the highlights, but nothing
Yeah.
sticks in my head that I'm like, "Man, no, I don't think so. I think because that game started with Madueke came in because Sake ended up injuring his hip, which again we're hearing isn't a long term injury. I'm trying to think here. Havertz started that game, which I thought was good. Um, I'm trying to remember if there was a lot of opportunities early in that game. I don't think a lot of opportunities came until the second half of the game.
Yeah, and
Um,
I'm looking at
Nothing glares out to me where I'm like, dang, like tonight, Martinelli had a couple misses where I'm like, hope we don't need
yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
nothing registers to my memory. Maybe the chat can jog our memory. Maybe they saw something different than I did, but I
Oh,
don't.
there was a ball from Eza Hincapie, ball from Hincapie, curl it to the far corner. Keeper makes a save, and it just bounced off Gabriel and out for. Oh wait, that's today. That's today. Oops,
Uh,
different. I thought I was looking at one of
I was just
those
trying to think.
blogs, but that's for
Yeah,
today's game. That's yeah. So I don't. Yeah, for that game, did I think they didn't really threaten us at all, right? And it just seemed like a matter of time before we were gonna score. But I don't feel like they threatened us at all in that game. I'm gonna
yeah.
see what happens here because I have. Oh, I can do the
I'll
commentary.
tell you what my first thought was once we scored the first goal, Gary
Yeah,
and Tony on this. We and I texted my buddy Matt and I was like, man, I said, now that we got that first goal, you need to stay pretty like high tempo or like
mm,
act because remember like my issue with the United game was the fact that we scored and then we were like, okay, and it's like, oh no, you can't do that, and they didn't do that on Saturday, even though I don't think it immediately led to that second goal till a little bit later, but they kept the pressure up, if that makes sense.
yeah,
So whatever happened after the United game through Arteta and the team talk and the team meeting or whatever, something has changed that's got them a little bit more. And I wonder if it's confidence. I don't think it was Arteta and the handbrake. I don't agree with that. I know people say that. I don't agree with that. I think that these players lack a little bit of belief, and now there's a little bit more expression.
Could,
It feels like
could,
something's
could,
changed.
could, it could be tactics. You had two attacking
it could
midfielders.
just be like keeping your head in the game,
That
right?
too.
Like you take
Could
your
be all the
foot off,
above too.
take your foot off the gas, and everything looks not
Yeah.
as our press. We lay off of our press. Our defense allows them to get more into into the attacking side of the pitch. All those types of things. For me,
We
and yeah, like you said, it's all those things. But I just think we're not trying to get that second goal when we should be trying to get a goal every time. If we're going to hold on to, like we'll get into it. In this game today, we had like 60% possession, but we
Mm-hmm.
weren't ever looking like we were going to score. They even had the first shot on goal, or first shot in the game. So I think sometimes we just need to continue to put pressure on until the team seriously goes into a low block because now they're behind, right? They don't get beat. They don't want to get beat 3-4-0 at halftime, as opposed to, you know, they're going into a low block to start and we don't really attack it. Go ahead.
five shots isn't enough shots today, but the other ones going back to the 4-2-3-1 that used to work when you were in the attack playing average
Yeah, I don't think
behind
we didn't play that
Kukarest.
today, did we?
No, we played it.
I mean, in
We
possession, we're
keep
more
jumping around.
in possession, we're more a three, three, something, and just because you see. We'll get into today's game later, but as far as the Leeds game goes, um, actually, Zubamendi had a shot earlier before he scored.
It
Before we
was a
scored,
header.
no, he had a right-footed shot straight at the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper didn't even have to move. I remember that one. Kai Havertz later gave later her ball. Oh wait, is that the goal? No, it's not the goal. That's just no. Kai Havertz laid a ball off of Zubamendi, shot it from outside the box, right at the goalkeeper. So that's kind of happened early. That was and that's one of those things where you look at it and you're like, if he just makes the goalkeeper move, maybe he scores. But when you shoot it right at the goalkeeper, they usually catch it. So but then later on, the Zubamendi does, gets the header from Madueke, who I think was having a good day and had a really good day, right? He got player of the match, man of the match.
It seems like we practice at kicking the ball at the keeper. This just seems like so many times teams knowing have to move.
Yep, yep, yep. No,
well,
for sure.
I think it's more about rushing. I used to always teach this to the kids, like take an extra second. I'm watching the first goal from Zubamendi.
I say pick a corner though, because we usually just shoot. You shoot where the defense is a little setting you up to. But if you shoot, for example, you pick go to one of the top corners, you're more likely to have a better chance of scoring. But is you just kick it straight, which is what we do sometimes, and that's the goalkeeper has a clear view of that sometimes. Unless you're moving away or towards the goalkeeper, you're right where they want you to be, which is a shot right where they can see it. So, yeah. We gotta keep going through here.
Low and hard, Gary.
Yep, yeah. Low. I don't know about low and hard because we seem to be doing low and hard. It's easy. Seriously though, Gary, he was so thick it was ridiculous. He looked fat, and then you punched his stomach and walls would have been a softer punch. What? What's he talking about? I don't know what Boytendio is talking about. I don't know what that means. Gary, you would get a ticket here for clearing your driveway like that. You have to do the whole thing. Yeah. Oh, is that right? No, yeah, I get what you're saying, but you know what? They didn't plow my street anyway. So if they gave me a ticket, I'd say, "Why don't you plow my street?" Like they plowed. Like I actually usually park. Last time it snowed, I had my car parked on the street, and they went around it. This time I said, "All right, I'll make sure that I won't. I'll have like a park on the street." They didn't plow it anyways. So basically, I can't park in front of my house because there's snow that goes out 3-4 feet. So it's like whatever. So you know what? Screw them. You could argue that we are not clinical from. Oh no, we're definitely not clinical. That's why we need more shots. For me, we need like 20 plus shots for me to feel like we're going to score in a lot of games. Even though sometimes we buck that trend.
It's more shot selection for me and opportunity. And what I mean by that is like sometimes the opportunities that Saka, Madueke, Trossard, or even Martinelli try to take the shot isn't a high quality shot in my opinion. Sometimes I feel like we should be aiming for Gyökeres. You hello Mo. You sat there and you're like, hey, I need a striker. Well, sling the ball to him, right? To me, it's shot selection too. There is not a clinicalness that is accurate, but it's also like the 50th minute. Gyökeres gets a ball and he fumbles it a little bit. It was a good defense by Leeds, but like it's just the selection more than it is just the opportunity shots. Like we just don't take quality shots, in my opinion.
I hear you on it's
I
like
think
I
a
think
lot
we
of
need
that's tempo.
Yeah.
We play so slow.
I tell you who's playing really well in Capier. We need to talk about him.
Some people say yes, and some people say no.
I think he's really good.
Yeah, I mean, he's not at the levels that we need yet, so that's why I'm not fine. I'm okay with that. I figure it's going to take him time, anyways. But no, I mean, what is he? Is he a fullback or is he a center back?
I think he's a fullback right now.
But what is he?
Play both.
Because Miles Lewis Skelly is a midfielder, but he's a fullback. So what is Hincapie?
It's fullback to me and center back.
No, but what is he? Not what does he play?
He's a football player.
Oh, stop it! I
don't know what you're asking. I feel like you're.
Is he a fullback or is he a center back?
What's his natural position, sir?
Yeah. Like he comes into us playing like the same way that I mean, I think a lot of people said Timber was a center back, but he can't play fullback, right? Ben White definitely was a center back, but we had to push him to fullback because he couldn't play center back for us. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean.
I think for Arsenal he's a fullback.
But what was he before he got here? Like he plays for his national team. I think he plays center back, right, for his national team.
I mean, is that kind of like Tommy Asu, who played center back for his national team, but fullback for us?
Well, I mean, and also played that for Bayern Levin as well, right? That's what I thought. I might be wrong.
Which one in Cat?
Yeah, no, and Capia, he played for Bayern Leverkusen before he came to us, right? And he
Right.
played for his national team. You know, the only chance on target that Leeds had was a second half header that Rea easily saved. Yeah, yeah. No, I don't. You know, they didn't really test us at all. They didn't really test us. Erdogan, what? I don't know what that means. That's what changed. No, you know what? Yes, in that game, that Leeds game, Erdogan came on.
He was real good.
He was good. I enjoyed that.
He was
I
very good.
enjoyed that. Yeah, yeah. He gives us what you know. I don't. Maybe he can't play a full game. You know, maybe and we'll see that now because he's out.
Do
But
you do you know what I think it was? I
mm,
think it's a change of perspective. Watching someone else do it out there. Not saying it was like pressure, but I think it was just kind of like, sometimes you got to step away from something and then come back
I
to
say
it.
it all the time. That's why I want. That's why sometimes I want Sacker to play as a fullback sometimes, so he can see the field from a different angle and realize how much space he has or doesn't have. You know, just to get, like you said, a different perspective on how the game's playing out.
Gary, I think you can get that from watching tape and where he's
Well, you
at,
can't do that
where
in the
he
middle of
should
a
be.
game, can you? And you know what? You
Is
can't watch tape
it,
because if you could, then they would have all the answers from day one.
well,
They don't. Teams
Gary,
change, right?
do you really pay attention to the game? Because there's damn sure fucking tablets on the sidelines that show them where the people are.
Well, they only get to see that at halftime, right? But if you're sitting there on the
No.
pitch and you go back for a little bit and you look at the game, you can see it in real time. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're
I mean,
saying.
Out of
Odegaard
that,
was critical on both goals. And
No, he was good in that. He was good in that game coming off the bench. I enjoyed that because I want to see a lot more of that because he actually puts the help with the pressure, right? We're able to maintain the ball when he's out there.
four,
So
two, three, one makes
yeah,
a difference.
no,
That's
I
when it,
true. No, he was good. He
that's
was
when
good.
he had it for 15 goals. You have to put him in the position to succeed,
Wow,
which is
I
a
want to
nice
push him
right
closer to the
eight.
goal. I don't want him.
He,
I know a lot of people say he plays better from the back, so he can start the attack and all of that. And I'm like, I don't want that. I want him further up the pitch because he's a liability in terms of sometimes getting run over when he
I,
plays back there. So I'd rather have him further closer to the other goal and
I
do his
can't
damage
think of
there.
it starting that where it starts with them from the back that much. It seems
It
like
was
it.
the pass before the pass sometimes, which I don't think we need. We got people that can do that. I mean, I'd rather have that happen so that I don't like what happened today. Timber and Saliba bombing up the pitch and just dribbling into danger consistently. You know, I'd rather have somebody like Erdegaard dribbling into danger and maybe breaking it up, busting it up. But we'll get into that. Let me go through this chat and we'll move on from this game. Young fellow, young fellow, my lad. Hope the fam are okay. And of course, Gun is, yes, whatever that means. I think Kai is looking like our Lord and Savior since he's returned, really making it all come together. He has looked good in the last two games. He has looked good. And that's what, we saw that at the end of the season when he came on for a couple minutes. He looked really good. And then, so hopefully they're able to manage his minutes the right way and we can get the most out of him for the most time. All is good in the hood, Zanzi, says BX. We've got Spencer. I think we came out of our own end a bit quicker against Leeds, and we didn't come out defensive like against Man United, which had us on the back foot, and they took the lead. Well, yeah. I mean, we see that a lot. I think it's because we're slow. We're so slow. Like today, at one point, there were like 5 Chelsea players on our side of the pitch, and we only had like 2 or 3 of our players. It's like they all ran away, and it's hard to move the ball around sometimes. So I think we need to get in and out of there real quick. Got Miss Melina in the house. She says Wembley. Yes, we're heading to Wembley. We are heading to Wembley. We like Wembley. Miss Melina says hi, Gary, Spencer, Tony, and the chat. Yes, everyone, and also to Zanzi, Arsenal Misfit, Stephen, BX. Hope you're all well. Yep. Some serious concerns for Eze are beginning to take root in my gut. We'll get into that. I'll check that. We'll come back to that. I said to fans who belittle the League Cup to embrace it. A trophy is a trophy. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Hey, if you're gonna play it, you might as well try to win it. That's what I'm saying. You know.
That's bullshit. They wanted rid of Wenger because we weren't competing for the league or the Champions League. We were winning domestic cups.
But you're supposed to improve. That's the problem with the Wenger situation. It wasn't that we weren't winning the domestic cups; it's that we weren't improving from that. That's the difference. Like here, we are improving no matter what you can say. Year on year, we have gotten better. Year on year, we have added more competitions we can compete for.
Yeah,
Year
but
on year, some of our players are getting better at how we play football. So that's the difference. Wenger was not getting his players. His team was not getting better. We weren't like
be,
looking like we were going to move up the table and compete for anything.
because we got out of Champions League
Not
scoring
because you got out of
75
it.
points.
You don't. If you don't to be competitive and get better at football, you don't have to be in Champions League. Are you kidding me? That's not true. You're telling me the football got worse because you can get better at football not playing in the Champions League. Come on, Tony. That's my thing.
That lack of fun scary.
Lack of funds don't mean you can't get better at football. Look at all these teams that are come out and spanked us. Did they have Champions League? None of them did. They play better football than us.
It does with your Arsenal, spending money on
The
players.
Brightons don't play Champions League. They have better football than us at some games, right?
We are trying
Brentford
to build a
doesn't have
stadium.
Champions League football. They play better football than us sometimes back then.
Trying to build a stadium in an age
that has nothing
TV
to
money.
do with playing better football. Improving your football skills has nothing to do with whether you're playing in the Champions League. You can't. I don't believe that at all, Tony. You're telling me the only way you can get better is you play in the Champions League. That's not true. Because guess what? That team plays in the Champions League, and do they look better for it? No. Their coaching gets better, and that's how they got better from it. Their players, they got better players in. All that helps, but you have to still get better with them, right? We expected a lot of players. We didn't get it, right? Sometimes it works out. Sometimes you don't coach them up. All that kind of thing. So I think our football has gotten better in general.
You're not using stats DNA to pick your players anymore. It's ridiculous.
You're just getting better, yeah. But you're coaching them up. All the back four who played in defense tonight are traditional center backs. Yep. Yeah, but like I said, Ben White can't play center back for us. He's not good as a center back for us. I mean, all those other guys can play fullback a lot better than Ben White can play center back. You know what I mean? So, and he came in as a fullback. If it came in as a center back, right? He can't play the way we want to play fullback, center back anymore. Ben White, he can't play center back for us.
He can't play fullback either because he can't hold up as fullback.
Not anymore, because he was playing fine as a fullback before they held off on his surgery until I think they waited too long. He probably did even more damage to his leg, his body, playing under that situation.
A year and a half playing injured. It's not good
it doesn't help. Doesn't help. Hincapie is a fullback. All right, there you go. I thought he was a center back. Thank you for confirming that. Let's see. Hincapie had some great moments, but he's still learning the system and his teammates' tendency, so he will get caught out from time to time. You see that from Miles Lewis Skelly, right? And he's been here for a bit. Even Calafiore and Benny Blanco are traditional center backs. Yeah, and they play really well as fullbacks for us. So, like I said, that's why I was wondering where Hincapie was playing. If he's a fullback for us, then that's good. But Calafiore is a center back coming in, but he's our starting fullback ahead of Hincapie, who's a fullback. There you go. Wenger didn't have the money to spend on players because he was still there to help us pay off the cost of the Emirates. Imagine how good he could have been without that cost over his head. But I think he made his players better. That's why he was able to win trophies with them. Right? And that's the difference between him and Arteta. He could take a player who's a 5 and make him a 7. Arteta, I don't think he'd do that.
Well, like I said, look at the teams that because You had the group stages of the Champions League, and look at the teams he fielded. And there's no way on earth, if you gave Arteta one of those teams, he would get him to qualify. No way. It's
Because he was
Wenger
young, and that's
Wenger
I've
knew
said
how to
it
get him
multiple
that
times. You
down.
bring Arteta into your team, you cannot play him the way you played Wenger. Wenger gets more out of his players than Arteta does. That's the difference, right? But Wenger wasn't getting his players weren't improving, even the young ones he was bringing in enough for them to get better and move up the table and make more and bring more money in, all those types of things, right? I think you're
mean,
comparing a manager in their 20 plus years of service versus one in their 20 minutes of service. That's the difference. You have to give him more funds. You have to. I think Wenger he didn't want to embrace however football was changing because he could have got if he did what he has done and get more out of his players. I think would have been all right. But that's how I looked at it anyways. I would argue that last season was a step back, and this season has been 2 steps forward so far. I don't agree with that at all. Last season was the first season we competed on 3 fronts. We've never done that since Arteta's been here.
how do we compete on 3 when we're out of both the domestic cups in January?
We played in a semi last year in both the Champions League and the EFL Cup. So you're telling me that's not good, and we finished second in the league. So yes, we competed in 3 fronts last year. That's 3 fronts, Tony. The season before that, what did we do? The season before that, we got knocked out early in the domestic cups, and we made it to the semis again, I think. And we finished second. The season before that, I think we made it to the quarters, and then we finished second again. The season before that, what happened? We finished 5th in the league. That's natural progressing, going from 5th place all the way to now where we stand, which is sitting in the front in a final already, right? We're in a final, 6 points in the league, top of the table in the Champions League, with still games to be played in the FA Cup. If you don't know what progression is, that's what it looks like.
Gary, 3 years in a row. Last year, season before, and season before that, we got knocked out of the League Cup in January.
We played in the semifinals last year in the FA in the League Cup, Tony. We lost to Newcastle in the semifinals with a chance to go, right? That's called progression.
It was in January.
It doesn't matter when we played. It's still the semis of the League Cup, Tony.
We broke a record 3 years running.
Not in the EFL. In the FA Cup, we lost out early. In the EFLs, didn't
we were out in January, Gary.
Newcastle won the EFL Cup, right?
Gary.
What?
Those 3 exits out of both those cups 3 years in a row was the earliest we've been knocked out of a domestic
FA Cup, not the EFL Cup,
but
right?
Both of them. We were out.
We played in a
January.
semi last year. How could that be the earliest?
Gentlemen,
it was in January. It was in January, not in February.
Gentlemen, let me interject here. What is this? What impact is this going to have on March 22nd? Absolutely nothing.
I don't know what he's talking about. I'm talking about progression in our football team. We are in a final compared to a semifinal last year. I think that's progression. Tony's telling me that's the earliest we've ever been knocked out is a semifinal of a League Cup that we haven't even competed for.
Well, we're not knocked out this year. First in the league. First in the league phase of Champions League. Got Wigan in the FA Cup next round, which is a nice draw.
And to me, it's still who gives a fuck up because it's pointless.
I know. You know what? That's why you don't want to see. You don't want progression, but you want progression. You want us to get better at football, but you don't want us to get better at football. Make up your mind. Which one is it? You cannot. I don't think you can win a league if you can't compete in a League Cup or an FA Cup. The two go hand in hand.
When you're 7 points up in April and you lose, you still lose.
That's not
That was
true
the
because people
last
have
week of
lost
April.
before.
But we're not at that point yet. We're talking about what
Yeah.
ifs. We
Yeah.
just had a massive moment tonight. We're going back to Wembley.
Very
We're
true.
going to
Very
play
true.
for the
It's
League Cup.
not
The
massive.
stand man says, "Rejoice,
It's
we're going to
massive.
Wembley." That is
It's a
true.
big deal.
Got
It's a
Arsenal
massive
Daily
deal.
Wag in the house as well. Big up the chat. Thanks for joining us. Me and Tony are fighting over progression. He doesn't know what it means. I'm trying to teach
So
him, but he
if
don't want to
you
know.
let me, I'll put it to you like this. I'll give you my 2 cents. If Arsenal were fourth in the league and going to the League Cup, I'm not going to sit there and say it's not massive. It's still a massive deal. Anytime you have opportunity to go win silverware, go etch your name into history, it's a massive deal. I even think winning Community Shields is a big deal too. It does not pale to the winning the championship or winning the league or winning the FA Cup, but it's still something that they claim. To me, it's a big deal.
What's the point of playing the guys that started tonight when you're trying to win
win
the
a
league?
trophy. Do you know this is exactly? Let me tell you exactly why it matters. Because winning breeds winning, 100%. Arsenal. This March 22nd. If City get through tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to do this. I was going to do this later, Gary, but I'm going to do it now. If Arsenal get through, and let's say they play Man City March 22nd, and let's say it's 10 points clear at that point. Let's say the gap's maintained itself. You go to Wembley and you beat Man City, you win the title because you beat them mentally that day. That's why
the thing that everybody wants to do, they want to compare us and say, why don't you go out there and do the things that City do? Well,
So
guess what City does? Guess what City does?
They win.
They try to win everything they compete in. Guess what? That includes the League Cup, which they've won many times, right? And it as you said, it breeds winning, but also just the little things you fine tune in those competitions, right? It's competition for not only your team but for your coaching, for your players.
We've won the FA Cup more than any other team in England.
And we didn't build on that, right? And we never built on that, right?
But what? There's no point of Ben. Why is Rice playing? No reason they risk him getting injured when you're trying to win the Premier League.
It's about winning. It's about building the confidence of this team.
The best players play all the time, though, Tony. I don't like it.
There's even an argument that Raya is going to David Raya is going to play the Final for us. There's even an argument that might happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it will, but there's an argument for it. Like, it's about winning, dude. This season is about accomplishing something special. You have an opportunity to win on 4 fronts: FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League, and the league. Are you going to win on all 4 fronts? Maybe not. But hell, that's what we're here for. I hear all these big Arsenal fans, the ones that are the standard bearers, as they say, we're just going to bend off a competition because it doesn't look. I mean, we have to. You got to go out there and win, man. Like,
you know what? What does DWTT stand for, Tony?
The trip. Don't waste the trophy.
I mean, it could be that as well, but you're playing in it. Why don't you just try to win it? If you know what, if you're not trying to win it, then they're going to tell you, guess what? Oh, you took a day off on this game. Do you remember we were playing? I think we were playing Forest 2 days in the same week. One in the league, one in a cups knockout round, I guess, whatever. And we went full board in the league, and we took our foot off the gas in the cup match, and we lost.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We have to try to win every game.
Yeah.
I don't think a team can take a day off and try to win. I don't believe that at all. I don't think so. I think I look at it the same way as like an NFL team that says, you know what, we're going to be really good at special teams because everybody else isn't. Then people get upset. Why are they kicking field goals from 50+ yards? Well, because they can. Why are they running back kickoffs 20, 30 yards more than everybody else? Because they work on it. And guess what the difference is in the margins are, right? How are they able to block our punts and kickoffs and kicks, right? Because they practice it. I think you cannot take a break. I think as any kind of team, you've got to be on every game. You know, every player should, like today. They talked to Eza, right? And they said, you know what? You think you will be ready to show the team and what can happen in the final? And he doesn't know he's in the final because guess what? The team's too good. He might not play in the final. He might start. He started in the semi, but he might not play in the final. You know why? Because that's how good our team is. That's what you want. All right. Let me go through this chat real quick. We've got a couple couple questions here so we can talk about. Uh, Charles is in the house. Wait, before we go to that, Zanti says time to get sussed because we're Wembley bound. Yes, sir. Charles 87 is in the house. He says, DWTT, Gary, Spencer, and Tony, we got a question. What we showed today is a mirror image of exactly what Mikel wants to happen in a UCL knockout tie. Expensive football away and a conservative kick it, draw it at home. A reason is also crowd. I think yes, but I also think we're a team that is built for the marathon. You know, those tough miles in the middle of the race, we're fine. We can handle those. And at the end, when people are trying, we have an extra gear. You know, he's going to try to win everything. So just assume that he's going to put his starters in every game if he can, because that's the way he's been coaching since he's got here. I expect to see it. He's going to, they're going to get to the red. He's going to pull them out. But that's why we have depth. All right. That's why we have depth. That's what we want. We asked for depth. We got the depth, and he's going to probably use it 100%. In the way he uses it. That's what he's going to do. What do you guys think about? The way we. I guess we'll talk about the way that we played today, or the way we played. We've been playing this season.
So I'll answer that. I think it's the way to do it, man. You go on the road, get yourself a lead, come home, shut down shop, maybe nick a goal late. I think tonight was the perfect recipe for it, man. And again, the thing about these cup ties, and whether it's Champions League, whether it's Carabao Cup, whether it's FA Cup, whatever it is, it's all about how healthy you are at the time you play those games too. So you can't guarantee certain things, but the squad's so deep at this point. Like, I was getting ready to write on a piece of paper today what I think the actual, because we talked about MLS, Miles Lewis-Skelly, and maybe he should be a midfielder. Like to have that conversation. But looking at, I mean, it's perfect. Getting the home field advantage, getting the tough one out of the way. It can always backfire, right? You could always go away on the road and, I don't know, Rice has got a hammy. And here's the thing about tonight, too. No Odegaard, no Saka. Arguably, your captain and your best attacking player not available. And you still took care of business, still won. So I think it's actually what he wants. He wants the comfortability. He wants the pressure on them, And I think I said this, and I was probably one of the few that said this when it was 3-2. I said, the thing's over. Because I don't think Chelsea can come to the Emirates and score 2 goals. Granted, that was before United scored 3 on us, right, and things like that. But this team's not going to shit the bed, excuse my French, give up 3 goals a game. Like, it's going to happen once a season. Or the way this defense is set up right now. I mean, the wild card at this point to me was Kepa in goal. Just because he's not the regular keeper. He played well tonight. I think he did well over the times he's been out there. He's an excellent backup. But I think it's the perfect way to go through things.
Yep. Tony, about the way we're playing, how do you like the style of football we're playing, or do you understand it and see what Arteta's trying to do?
I'm not a fan of slow, progressive build of football down the pitch. More of a fan of what we've seen Saturday. Different formation, 4-2-3-1. You have Havertz back behind Bucharest is what you should have. You should have had Odegaard back there when he's been healthy. It's what worked. He's seen that it works. And both Zubimendi, Rice, both good defensively. So I've been for that format thing. Finally done it. Should have done it much earlier. That I like watching that type of football, but what we play most of the season, I generally don't like watching it.
Yeah, I you know what I think. You know what Tony thinks about what you think, or Arteta thinks about what you think. He don't give a damn because he's trying to win a trophy, and guess what? You're gonna either have to like it because that's how we're gonna win it, or you're not gonna like it, but you're still gonna enjoy the trophy. I assume at the end of the day, you might not like the. I don't like the fact that it's heart attack football, but that's the way we've been playing. But that's So for me, I hear what you're saying, but I think that's the way we're gonna have to play. We're gonna have to kind of try to get used to it because that's where we're gonna play. It's not going to be pretty because we're trying to win every trophy. We're trying to win every game we play.
And another thing, we've seen it several times, the difference of when we're playing the long balls. We can get the easy goals that way, easier wins. But instead, we want to do the stupid passes in front of the goalkeeper and let them have the easy goals. So, still a long way to go on tactics for me. But
you saying that, but where are we sitting in the league right now?
not a very good league. Gary.
Where are we sitting? Where are we sitting in the league right now?
Yeah, but
no, but where are we sitting? Can you tell me? Do you not know?
We've been here before, Gary.
Where are we sitting right now in the league? Can you tell me?
We've been here before.
No, we've been here.
We've not been here before.
Gary, to answer the question, we're sitting top of the league, but we have been here before. But we haven't been here before with this amount.
Not like this. This is totally
not with
different.
this amount of depth. Not when you're sitting here saying, "Man, should as they start or Odegaard start?" We didn't have those issues. I'm going to tell you. Think about last year. Last year, this team I think lost the league by 12 points, if I'm not mistaken. There was a game where Raheem Sterling was our only attacking option off the bench. We don't have those same issues this year. This team is so deep. I mean, the Moreno injury hurts, and I'm going to make Gary happy with this. I would have never let Ethan Nweri go out on loan. Period. I'm sorry, but I've said this because to me, this season was about winning. We can develop Ethan later, but it's about winning, and that's what bothered me about letting him go. But, you got Moreno plays a role. I mean, Kai Havertz is not playing in the midfield. People's brains aren't broken anymore because I remember that. I don't like to see Kai in the midfield. Can't do it, but he's doing it. Yeah, listen, I'm entertained by watching this team because for me, I like watching brute strength center backs go in there and bullying. We're basically bullies on corners and stuff like that. But we can also play pretty because we're seeing it in Champions League on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights. We're seeing the beautiful game that this team can play wide open. Martinelli, Madueke, Saka, whoever. And the first comment, and I'm going to say it, Andrea Berta. We actually got someone that actually knew what they were doing, knew how to make deals, knew how to identify talent, and that's why this is good. And again, like I heard someone saying this tonight, and I'm going to steal their thunder, and I don't know who they are to give credit, but it was one of the major networks that was talking about it, and it talks about because my buddy Matt won't watch the Amazon documentary, because to him it was too painful. But if you go back and watch that documentary, we had personalities on there. I know people say, well, Arteta doesn't like personalities. We had individuals. We have a team now. We've got guys that are willing to, look at, Declan Rice tonight. He tracked back, I think it was about the 70th minute or something like that, and made 3 tackles, got the ball back. 4 or 5 years ago, that might be a goal for Chelsea. So we've got guys that are bought into a system. They understand what we're doing here. They understand that this is something bigger than them. That's why I don't think Eze's upset about his role at Arsenal right now. I don't think he's upset about it. He's playing for his boyhood club. He scored a hat trick against Spurs. He assisted on the goal against Man City. Do you know what I mean? So he's had a part to play in this. Is he not playing as much as he wants? Probably not, but he understands it. He doesn't look disgruntled. He still looks happy to be here. And I don't know if we had players like that 4 or 5 years ago. Aubameyang was late for the North London derby. He was late. It was during COVID. How are you late during COVID? Nobody's out on the streets. And he was late. So my point being is that Arteta has built this thing. Berta has taken it to another level.
That was like the 5th or 6th game he was late for that year.
It's insane. So I guess my point being is,
so it's not a good example, right? So
It's
Let me
not a
go
great.
through. Let
Yeah.
me try to go through this chat. Sorry. Let me go
No,
through
you're
this
fine.
chat. And we haven't even really talked about today's game, which we probably should move on. I think I'm going to say we're done with the leads because we've kind of moved away from that. But I'm just going to go through the chat real quick, and we'll finish up the show talking about today's game. Earning the right to play in a final is a big stepping stone in this team's progression for sure. And that's, like I said, that's what Eze said today. And at his interview at the end of the game, you just don't know. Got Tiger and Gooner. Tiger Gooner's in the house. Morning from Australia. Thanks for joining us. He said Charles also says the DWTT also feel that it's deja vu of the 2017 Caribou lost to City 0-3 to them. Pep's first trophy. This team is rewriting history when history wasn't kind to that team in 2017. There you go. Yep. 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 That was a different team back then. We are not that team. So yeah, no, not that team. Yeah, that's why I think even though we're going down what looks like the same road, we're not in the same car. You know what I mean? We're not in the same car. We're 6 points ahead in this league. Where some people would say we were 8 at one point a couple years ago, and we let that slide. I don't think we're that team who can just we are built on defense, and some say ugly football, but we'll take what they give us. Zanzi says, DWTT says, don't wear tight thongs, especially if you're a bloke. I don't know. It all depends what you're into, man. I'm not going to tell people what to do, but yeah, today's game is exactly what I expected. The only thing I got wrong was the goal. I called a 0-0 draw, not a win. Oh, yeah, I wanted to win. I wanted a clean sheet and a 2-0 win. I don't like stress. So there you go.
You want to tell them about the group chat and how me and Sam were talking to them?
Yeah, these guys, we'll get into this game. These guys are going after me. I like to tell you guys all the time. What I'm saying about today, I'm talking about the game, today's game, not our season in general. So I can do that. I can be meticulous about what I see because I'm talking about the 90 minutes I just saw. Yes, Zanzi. All hail Berta. Yeah, Berta is he's been great. He's been good about what we got, what we need. And we haven't gone crazy. We're building for the future now, and I think it sounds like anything else. We've got a couple of names of players that are going to come in most likely in the summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got maybe Alcaraz, I think is his name.
Julian Alvarez.
You even have Tonali on the list of players that we might be looking at. So I think Arsenal, people might want to come. Yeah. I use the form like Voltron analogy. LOL works well. Yeah, I was surprised at how little in the way of chances Chelsea got. It was much easier to shut them down than I thought it was. Yeah, they weren't. I don't think they wanted to open themselves up. And we talked about that in our chat. As soon as they open up, things weren't gonna go their way.
It never did. Like I never saw. So I don't think it was wrong what they did tactically because some people say, "Oh, it's a cup final, just go do it." You're down one. I understand the mentality of let's hang on to halftime and then let's get to about the 55th minute and then we'll slow our gunslingers on there. And I think I texted you in the chat and I was like, look, man, like if I'm Arteta, I want to see what I can't pronounce the Chelsea manager's name, what his changes are going to be.
Liam, whatever.
And then I would make my changes based on that, and I think Arteta got the subs right tonight. I think there was still a moment where I'm like, well, man, maybe if you bring this guy on, it worked out fine, but I feel like they did the right thing. I know people say, they weren't as attacking, but we've seen Arsenal. Man, the minute you give us some room, man, like that could be it, man. So.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Habert saves today. We'll get into that as well. That from Holly's in the house as well. Thanks for joining us, Holly.
She typed in from my account.
It's that much sweeter that Kai put the final nail. Yes, we'll get into that. We're
yes,
yeah. As I said to a lot of people, as I said in some of my chats, Kai basically, said to all the haters, he's laughing at them. All right. So, all right. So let's get into today's game. I coming into here, like I said, I felt like once again I was expecting to get a clean sheet where I'm and be able to get 2 goals. Well, really, I wanted 1 goal because 1 goal I wanted to go early because the stats say, and nobody likes my stats, but these stats I've even heard it said Arsenal scores first in the first half, they usually win. They actually win most of their games when they score first in the first half. If you look at the stats, it says that we can win in the second half when we don't score, but we score first, we usually win. So, because once we score, that basically shuts the door on everybody else. So that's what I was hoping for. I was stressing out that we weren't getting those chances, enough chances. I know we got chances, but I needed more than 3 shots we had at halftime. I like the lineup looked good to me. I like the lineup, seeing Eze there, and we'll get into why that didn't play out the way I would have liked it to. But Eze there with Zubamendi and Rice, yes. Jokeres and Madueke and Martinelli gave us a totally different dynamic. Got the speed on the outside. Don't feel like it didn't feel like we got to use it as much today. Not enough where they could put pressure on them. So, but I think that's more the way Chelsea was playing us. But yeah, no, that's what I was hoping in this game. Tony, talk to me about today's game coming in. At least your thoughts coming in.
I didn't think they would pose too much of a threat.
That's it? That's all you got?
Yep.
Short and sweet.
Spencer?
No, so again, like I think to piggyback what I said earlier, I was really surprised at their lack of like ability. So if you think about the subs and everything, right? So we'll start at the beginning. The lineup I was okay with. I know, like I said yesterday, I wanted to see White play. There was a moment in the game, we'll get to the later on, where I thought you could pull Nketiah off and put Timber on the left and White on the right and finish the game off. But it was okay with how it finished out. I liked Eze starting. I'm a little bit more okay with Eze than you and Sam are, and maybe the rest of the chat is, just because I don't think he hurt us today. He wasn't special, but I don't think he was like – I guess my point being is it didn't feel like he was going to get the moments to shine, if that makes sense. But I also wonder if he plays better having Havertz out there as well, if that makes sense. So that's something that I think he just needs a string of games, man. Like, I don't know exactly what's going on with Odegaard, whether that's a long-term thing or he just missed tonight. But Eze, man, I'm not as upset as everybody is. I guess my expectation was a little bit lower than everybody else. So, but that being said, I understand when people said that they're not really happy with how it went within the night. But as far as like Martinelli, I thought Martinelli was able to get at them a little bit tonight. We had 2 opportunities I can think up top of my head where we kind of were able to pick on Gustav, and who was the other guy on the other side? Cucurella. I think Martinelli had Gustav in his pocket for him in the majority of the night. We really didn't turn those opportunities into goals. I was worried that was going to come back to haunt us, and it obviously didn't. Chelsea really didn't scare me in the first half offensively. The physicality of the game. It's funny. If you go look and think about this, that first game that we played at Stamford Bridge, they never replicated that through any of this, the League Cup. And I don't know if that's a Maresca thing. But if you go back to that first game, they just basically shithoused their way through the game, tried to play fouls, play injured. If you notice tonight, we did see a lot of them diving a lot, right? I think Gustav, if I'm not mistaken, got booked for diving, rightfully so. I think I know one of the groups I was in texted the ref wasn't very good. I thought he was actually pretty decent tonight. I thought he called out people on their BS when they needed to be. I don't think that penalty, the one where Martinelli got slow with Chalba, I don't think that's a penalty because I think Chalba got the ball. I know he brought his leg up a little bit, and you could argue it, but I'd be kind of hard-pressed if it was called on us.
Which one?
That was 80th minute, I believe.
Yeah, but if he doesn't lift his leg up in the air, Martinelli's through on goal with the ball and the goalkeeper in front of him. So for me, that's a goal scoring opportunity there.
I can see it both ways.
If his leg doesn't come up, instinctual or not, that's like your hand going up and stopping a ball from going into the net. When we're
not going to get penalties anyway, Gary.
What I'm saying is that's why they needed to look at that. Because I thought that was an easy PK to give. Because I think he may have got to the ball first, but he left his leg there, and if he doesn't Martinelli's through, and maybe he doesn't score, but we don't know that. That's the problem.
So there's
And-
one. I want to get BX's comment here. Hincape showing he can strike a ball as good as any striker. There was one moment tonight where Hincape had the ball, and I believe it was second half, and I just think he should have put that on target, and he ends up trying to cross it.
Mm.
So I'm like, I'd love to see, because I see Calafiore do it, I see Hincapié do it, and they're kind of in the box, and I'm like, man, just put that crap on target and see what happens. Own goal is like our second leading scorer. Maybe he'll get you a sixth goal. That's a
There
joke.
you go. There you go.
But
Yeah.
but overall, I mean, I guess I hope I answered your question. I'm not going on a complete ramble. Go ahead, Tom.
own goal was tied for third until a goal got given back on the weekend.
I'll take him however I can get him, baby.
Yeah. I mean, at one point, own goal was the second leading scorer at City, right? So
We're
they had
so
to-
good, we make people put the ball in their own net.
yeah. So you know what? Yeah. However the ball goes in, I'll take it. Got a new friend to the channel right now, or should I say, joining us right now.
Mhm.
Lucky Singh 9851. Welcome to the show. He says, "Rest up, Sunderland club. Make sure have switch up them back in the training and go aggressive." Yeah, I think we're gonna go pretty strong against Sunderland because what do we have after that?
I think
mean-
it's next weekend. It's against Brentford.
Yeah, so we have a game on Saturday, game on Thursday, so we have a long break. So I have a feeling we're just going to go as strong as we can because the Wigan game I think is the break before the North London derby away.
Yeah,
So
22nd, I think, is
Yeah.
Spurs away.
yeah, so
You got-
Saturday and Thursday, that's enough time where unless we have injuries and stuff.
You
we
can
might
go hard
lose
on both those games. I think you
Yeah.
can go hard, this weekend coming up and then the following weekend, and I think you can rotate against Sunderland.
Yeah,
That's Sunderland. I mean, it's Wigan.
Wigan,
Wigan.
yeah.
You're still going to play You're still going to probably play 6 of your core guys, but you can, you could rotate a little bit.
Because like Jesus can start, Gyökeres
Yep.
doesn't have to start. Trossard can start, right? He does. That means Martinelli doesn't have to start, or Martinelli can start on the right if you had to, right? I mean, you've got options either way, depending on how we go with that. So, I don't know if Vertigo will be back, but we'll see. Defense first, switch up, then attack Sunderland next week. Yep. No, we're gonna probably who are we gonna rest on the defense.
I think this team will be ready.
Calafiore came off the bench, so right. So he's gonna hopefully get healthier. So maybe he'll play this weekend. Yeah. Well done, Arsenal, for sure. Quadruple is on, people. Yes.
Yeah.
Quadruple is on. Never thought we were on it today. The only thing I didn't like was when we caught the ball up twice in a row trying to play out from the back deep in our, and that's the problem I have sometimes is that like you have to be aware of what you see in front of you. When you see like 5 blue shirts, that means we've got hopefully the numbers and you can go a little bit long, even if it goes out. I'd rather go out there than play it back to the goalkeeper. So
Yeah.
Physically, defense, that's what we want. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, our defense is going to get us where we want to go. I assume here, when Steven says, I love the way we roughed up Coco early on, he's talking about Casado, I think. Yeah, Casado didn't really have much
Yeah.
much
I
to
was
say today.
surprised. Like, he was very quiet.
Yeah.
I expected him to be a little bit more up for it. He didn't feel it. Kukurea. I mean, I again, when Traore decides to throw you into the stands, of course I'd be a little scared to the next game. Yao Pedro, I mean, he still hasn't recovered from. Again, what a great moment! It's what a great moment. But anyway, carry on.
He took out one guy and then he scared the other one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're like, man, that guy's like, I should have done that.
Yeah, see here, that Steven kind of agrees with me. That was a pen all day long because Martinelli is in, if not fouled, it stopped a goal scoring. Yeah, that's how I felt about it. But you know what? Some people will say the referee let some stuff go, go the other way. So he was. I don't think he was terrible one way or on one side and not the other side. I think both sides got punished by his poor refereeing. Club time switch, reset, get many players, determination, defense, use wingers, then goes Sunderland. There's a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what he's saying.
We've got the players to do the rotation, right? So I mean, like I said, who didn't play is the big question, right?
Yeah.
We didn't play.
Jesus.
We didn't play Ben White. We didn't play
Yep.
Mascara. Didn't play Rhea. Didn't play Skelly. Didn't play Calafiore, Norgard, Gabrielle. They could all start, and we wouldn't feel bad about it. We wouldn't feel bad about it, right?
I still think you start Yorkeres this game coming up. But what I think you could think about doing is you could also think about potentially starting a Jesus at your right wing.
Well,
You
you only
could think
gave
about
you
that.
only gave Kai Havertz 20 minutes, so if you
Yeah.
started to him with your caress, that would be, and then Eze doesn't start. You have to. I want Eze to start every game, but maybe Eze starts as a wing.
Yes,
So
absolutely. I think you have to because I think you can still fix things. You can still make changes. So, if you start Gyökeres, you start Havertz, you start Madueke, and then you decide to start Eze on the wing, and then from a midfield perspective, you're going to go Rice and Zubamendi. Again, that's what concerns me too. How long is Odegaard out for? You still have no guard that can play. That's a guy that I think can have a massive part in finishing this story. Premier League proven player. He looked really good in the Champions League on last Tuesday.
mhm.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think again,
Yep.
You've got the two
Interesting.
big games. Go as strong as you can.
Yeah.
But keep in mind now that Moreno's out, like there is, again, the Miles Lewis Skelly thing. Is this time for Lewis Skelly to start coming into the midfield? I think it is. If the fullback position at Arsenal is already taxing as a box to box in my mind, he's already able to do it. He's direct when he gets in the midfield. I'm going to get myself in trouble for saying this one, but I almost hate they let Zinchenko out of the door just to have an extra body in case things go all cattywampus. You could have thrown him in the midfield. Is my point. That's all I'm going to say.
But we don't. That's the problem. That's the problem right there. We don't do that. We never did that.
Right. No. I get that.
The one time we did it, he scores, and then we never saw it again.
That would have been an emergency. I would have kept Zinchenko around for an emergency. That's it, an emergency. He probably doesn't play, but you've got him in case you get. Because right now, if Rice, Zubamendi, or Nogar go down, that creates issues in my mind.
He will adjust like he always does when he gets
Correct.
forced. The problem is we'd like it to just be natural, like you've been playing there, and it's just a natural progression that he moves in, right? Sunderland is a game where we need to erase really terrible performance. Yes, Stephen. Yeah, and so far, this season we've been able to do that in games where we've looked really bad, respond. The Liverpool match we didn't lose, but we drew. Right? the Villa game we lost, but we came back and destroyed them. So this is another one. Sunderland, they had our number. We need to come back really strong and get it. Chelsea, we played Chelsea now 3 times, right?
Yeah.
And we basically have beaten them. They got the draw from, we came back and got the draw, and then we just beat them 2 times after that. So if you said you're going to play Chelsea 3 times and win 2 of them, you're going to take that any season. So, yeah, we've been responding in kind when we go back and play another team. Get many players back. Yeah, no, I think we'll see who comes back if Erdegaard. Well, Erdegaard, I think they said Saka and Erdegaard sounded like they could be back next week or the week after. So, and hopefully they're not getting rushed into the starting position. Yeah. Hopefully they just get put into the squad and we give them minutes like we gave Kai Havertz, right? Kai Havertz doesn't have to start every game, but he can make a difference. It'd be nice to be able to do that for Saka and Erdegaard. Erdegaard especially looks like he's good coming off the bench for us right now. We're extending our lead this weekend. Yes, I hope so. Yeah. That was the best play of the day. Cucurella taking a rugby dive from Chori. That looked like serious wrestling going on there. Yeah. Yeah. So we talked
bad for him to an extent, man. He got slung. Like that had to hurt,
Yeah. I think Spencer said he wants to see Masu Skelly move up. What about you, Tony?
Got to use him somewhere. So.
Yeah, he needs more minutes. So get him more minutes up the pitch. I mean, I don't like Timber moving up into the midfield. I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, again, I think that's why we've gone through so many fullbacks over the years, is because it's such a taxing position. But if I break down my view of the Arsenal defense right now, you've got Timber White as your right backs. You've got Calafiore and Capia as your left backs. You've got Mascara as a backup center back, and you got Gabriel Saliba. And of course, Miles Lewis Skelly plays fullback too. But again, like if you're, and I think Liam on Ryan's channel last night, they had the little show, and he disagreed with me on the fact that I think Miles Lewis Skelly could play in the midfield. But my argument now is he's already doing that. These fullbacks, when they go full inverted, they're already playing as a box to box.
He's been doing that his whole life. It's just when he comes to art, it's like, these players will play in that position. Like Saka didn't come to us playing as a fullback.
No.
What? He played as a fullback. He played in the midfield, right? And then now he's playing as a winger. I mean, so we've got these young players are versatile. That's it. They're footballers. They just play football.
And I think if Miles Lewis Skelly was not good enough to do, say, the fullback position, or let's say in midfield, they would have put him out on loan. I think the fact that he didn't go out on loan shows where Arteta views him as a progression in this team.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he said it for Nweri in the sense that they just want to get him more minutes, and it sounds like they want to get him more minutes in the midfield, right? Same thing for Miles Lewis Skelly, but he can play. He can actually start for us as a fullback. That's the thing. And Nweri doesn't really have, like, bringing in Eze, having Erdegaard there isn't really helping Nweri get enough minutes, and he can't play he can play a wing, but we've got answers there as well now.
Yeah.
There's barely any minutes for him to play. So that's why I said, if you're not going to play him, let him get minutes. Yes, injuries are going to happen, but that, if you're going to look to his future, then look to his future and don't, just move on. You have the numbers, so we're good. I think we're good. Yep. Obviously with experience head. Yeah. Keep going. Yep. Skelly is a midfielder. All right. Arsenal looked, as I said, this game concerned me because we didn't look like we were going to try to score. I mean, if you look at the stats for the game, how many shots did we had? 5.
Oh, yeah.
2 on target. They had 2 on target, but they had 14 shots. Right? I mean, that's, for me, not good at all. Like, I don't care if we're a defensive team or not. Not good at all. We should be able to put together more than 5 shots in a game. So, and I think this is where we're getting into the whole Eze chat. I'm kind of disappointed in the way Eze played today. He wasn't, I guess as Spencer said, he was okay with it. But I think when you have Eze on the pitch, if you're not able to get more than 5 shots taken in the game, then you're not utilizing his skill sets enough. If he's not even, I don't even know if he got a shot today. And, he usually is one that gets a shot, right? Let's see if he even got a shot. I don't even know if he got a shot today. And that's, we have him on the pitch. I expect him to get a shot. Did he get a shot? Nope. He didn't get a shot today. He created 1 chance today. 0.1 on the GA. Not really helping us. That, big chance missed, it says here. So I didn't think he took a shot, but they're saying he did. But yeah, no, I don't think I'd say it was good today. I mean, he wasn't bad in the sense that he's hurt us, but he wasn't good in the sense that I wanted us to get a better opportunity. When he's on the pitch, we should have our attack should looks better. Right? I mean, that's me. Tony, I don't know what you think. I think our attack should look better when Ez is on the pitch.
Yeah, I think it looks better. I think we're seeing the best of him kind of that one time Gukras picked up the injury. He had that hat trick and very sensitive. Arteta hasn't really went with him.
Yep.
And tonight, you don't know how much it was Arteta telling him really not to take their shots.
He wasn't really in a position to
to
take a shot. Like, I don't know how. I mean, I'll look at where he was on the pitch. It didn't seem like he was that. It was deep enough to. Why can't I see? He's not giving me his positioning, but it doesn't even seem like he was in a position to get. Let's see where he was here. I mean, in terms of he was barely in the box. He's barely in the attacking third. Um, through the middle of the pitch, not much going on there. But it was closer to the midline than he was, and to the touch line than he was to the center of the pitch, and close to the goal. So I don't think he had that many opportunities. I mean, I wish I had one of those touch. Oh, wait, I do have it. Yeah, here's a touch match of his passes. As far like if you look, all of his successful passes, most of them are away from the goal or to the touch line. Everything going towards the goal, red. He's got 4 passes into the final third, all of them red. And he's probably going to Jokeres, which is probably maybe why they're red. But and that's probably what Arteta sees when he sees like attacking the final third. But I think you need to put more balls into that area, and you need your better players to be able to do that. I mean, that same guy, as you said, he puts the ball on a tee for Martinelli in the City game, right? Right when the game's on a stretch, like we're in a stretch, Arteta allows them to do that, and they feel less pressure, I think, to make that pass because we're chasing something. But when there's nothing to chase for, he doesn't like it because it gives the possession back to the other team. But guess what? Sometimes you score from it. So that's kind of how I feel about that. So no, I didn't like Eze today. Tony, how'd you like? I know Spencer, you liked Eze today, or you weren't too concerned with his play. Tony, what you think?
Thought he could have did more, but seems like he's kind of playing with the handbrake on. Don't know what Arteta's telling him to do. So.
Yeah. I think even with the handbrakes on, he's got to still be able to shine because Saka does, and we know he's got the handbrake on. So I get it, but I just don't think that's an excuse. You still should be able to shine once in a while and show what you're good at.
He did carry a hat trick.
No, I mean
His
today.
MIA.
I'm not talking about what happened a few months ago, but what happened today?
So with the Eze thing, man, I don't think he plays with a handbrake. What I think his fitness levels aren't good because he looked tired.
Not in the first 45 minutes. I'm talking about, okay, I'll give you maybe in the second half he looks tired, but in the first 45 minutes he can't be tired.
Gary.
So what?
Let's do a flashback. I'm doing this for Spencer. Spencer probably remembers it. But it was like 5 games into a season, and he says his fitness wasn't up to par yet. Where he had played the friendly cup game. Mm-hmm. He wasn't with us yet. But he played games, not with us. But then he comes over and his fitness has been a problem the entire season. And he said it was for him early on in the season. So I don't know what's going on there. That's muscle problems, what it is. But there's definitely got to be something with the stemma going on.
I would agree with you, but I don't feel like he has played a lot of minutes of late, right? I mean, I mean, of late, I don't think he's played a lot of minutes, right? Because I felt like
he went.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Since that game where he scored the hat trick, he hasn't played. He's played 90 minutes, I think, twice since then, and that we're talking probably about 10 to 12 games. Right? He doesn't start. He hasn't started. He's actually, I think he had a 3-game stretch where he started, but otherwise he's played every other game when he's played. And some of that isn't even midweek games. So he's not even playing the midweek sometimes. So he's not playing every 3 games. I mean, he has of late because we've had injuries with Erdogan, but he wasn't playing like every other game. So I So as far as rust, I think he should be rested. He played a lot of minutes in those first. I mean, like I said, he has not. He's played. Let's see, 104 in 5 matches. In 5 matches, he has played 220 minutes. So, right, it's not a lot of minutes. It's about 40 minutes a game. So he hasn't played a lot. I mean, he played 10 minutes against Leeds. So he came into this match pretty much rested and he looked tired, some say. He played 10 minutes against Leeds. Plays Chelsea at home, starts, and we're saying he's tied after 45 minutes.
He looked daggered I'm talking the 90th minute. He looked like he couldn't keep the press going.
I don't think.
Everything I think he was fine early in the game.
That's a problem. That's a problem. I don't want him to have to be pressing for 90 minutes.
Part of but Gary, we talked about this.
No, that's why you rotate players in and out.
Team expectation. But again, tonight, and this is probably reality, if Odegaard's ready to go, Eze still starts, but Odegaard probably comes in the 60th minute.
True. I'd rather pull Eze because he's dead on his feet, because he's actually performed. He's actually created multiple chances. He may have even scored a goal. Than what I'm getting, which is like I feel like either he's dragging his feet or he's got the handbrakes on. He's just conserving himself for 90 minutes. I hate the way that's what I feel like Saka does sometimes. He just plays for 90 minutes and he doesn't give me like 110% for a large percent of the game because he's like conserving himself almost. It seems
possibly.
That's kind of what I feel. There
are a lot of minutes on those young legs there, Gary.
Of Saka, but I'm talking about Eze, who played 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? He played 10 minutes. Played 90 against KAIRAT. I mean, that shouldn't have been that taxing on him, right? And then he played 30 minutes before that. He came on against United for 30 minutes. 60 minutes he started at Inter. 12 minutes at Nottingham Forest. 90 minutes of Port. He's not playing like our tough games. He's coming off the bench.
Yeah.
13 minutes off the bench against Liverpool. 12 minutes off the bench against Forest. 30 minutes off the bench against Manchester United. 10 minutes against Leeds. So he's not even playing the tough games. He's not starting the tough games. And he's not playing more than 30 minutes in those games. Today would have been his tough game that he's played in a very long time. Got to start, and we're saying he's tired, so he can't. So I get it. Maybe that's the way we play, but I expect to see something when he comes on, either from being hungry, meaning I want to play some football, I want to show what I can do, but also because he's been rested.
But again, I think it's hard, the intensity level of that game too, because I mean, let's be fair. I don't know how good he is at pressing. If that makes sense.
I get the defensive side. I'm talking about the stuff he's supposed to do. He's supposed to be good at.
Well, we didn't have a lot of opportunities tonight anyway, though.
He's the guy that can create because he's been on a team where he's been like the only attacker sometimes, and he showcased himself against some of the better teams. So for me, once in a while,
I don't know where he fits in right now, but he plays in the midfield. I still think he can play left wing. I still absolutely believe that. I know people call him a moments player. I don't even know what that means, but if you're going to come play on this team,
he scored for his team over the last year plus, he's scored 7 to 8 goals. But some people will compare that to Martinelli, but his goals carry a lot of weight because they won them trophies, got them through knockout rounds.
Well,
you know
again,
what I mean?
so
that's the moments player, right?
Okay, but again, did he have a moment for us against Spurs? Yeah.
No, I'm just saying we haven't had that. That was when? Do you know when that was? Do you know when that was?
October.
Yeah, that was that was Thanksgiving. That was
Thanksgiving.
So November 23rd. So it's been about we're in February now. So in about 2 months, he's been pretty quiet. He's done nothing in 2 months. He got an assist against Bayern Munich, which was really great. But since then, zero, nothing.
He's played about 1,700 minutes so far this year.
He's played over 2,000 right now, and he had
if you're counting the qualifications, yeah.
No. Oh, okay. Those are in. Yeah. Those not that many in there. Well, Yeah,
9,
He's got a
12,
couple. Yeah, he's
15,
got probably
16.
200 or 300 minutes. Yeah, you're probably right. 1,700.
He's
probably.
got about 7 starts in the Premier League, 981 minutes, 4 goals, 2 assists so far this season.
Yeah. Now, I just like I said, I get his deficiencies on the defensive end, but for me, I also want to see some of those offensive things shine through once in a while. Of late, they haven't.
Yeah,
Of
it's
late, they haven't. Yeah. Yeah, as Big Gunner says here, our attack looks best with Kai in the 10. Norgard begins him, in my opinion. Oh, you mean against Sunderland, probably, yeah. At some point, I think Zubamendi and if it's Norgard need to be able to switch and we don't lose anything. Because I don't, yeah.
Well, again, this is why the Eze thing has to work, and we have to keep playing it because I don't think it's an abject failure. So that's why, for me, if Odegaard cannot go on Saturday, I'm starting Eze again.
Yeah, got to see if he spreads wide. Yeah, Lucky Singh wants to see him out as a wing. It sounds like.
Yeah. Again, I think that allows him to be out on an island. It allows him to. I mean, he had the assist to get. Was it against Forest to Gyökeres from the left wing position?
Not this year.
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh, I'm just looking. Like I said, his stats say since Bayern Munich game, which is November 26th, he's given us no goals and assists.
It was early September, I think. He came on at halftime and gave an assist to Gyökeres against.
Oh, against Forest. Yeah, that was yeah, that was back in September.
So again, I'm just not ready. I maybe my expectations a little less, right? And maybe
I wanted to get the best things out of him. Not like have a really good footballer who can maybe work in our defensive schemes. He came to us with the offensive talents, the offensive skills. So that's what I want to see as well. Right? Gyökeres comes with some offensive talents. He is working his butt off defensively.
Yeah.
But he's supposed to give us some offense as well. He's been doing that of late. Like, you know what I mean? Like here we go. Eze started against Inter, nothing. Started against KAIRAT, nothing. Right? Started in the cup match against Crystal Palace, nothing. You know what I mean? So started against Wolves and Villa, nothing. And you know, those aren't all the tough games that we played, but those are some games where I'm hoping to get something out of him when he starts. Right? Started against Chelsea, got nothing. That was a tough game. But like I said, in one of those games, I would have liked to have seen something where I went, he scored or he got an assist. You know what I mean? Maybe that's not all on him, but I don't know if he's getting that many good goal scoring chances.
Well, it's like Odegaard, right? Odegaard did not get the assist for the third goal against Leeds, but his key pass to Martinelli allowed for that to set up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he got the assist for the fourth goal. So again, if Eze is the one making the creative scoring play or the creative scoring chance, then that has to be looked into it. Like I guess with Eze, like again, it's unknown about the left wing versus 10 or 8, whatever we're gonna play. But again, like it's like Gyökeres, like you brought him in for one reason, it's to bang goals in. So people are going to judge him differently. Like, I think I guess the expectation levels for Eze are a little bit different for everybody. And, you know, like, again, when you have a price tag on a player, you expect plug and play. But I don't feel like he's hurt us outside of the Villa game. I feel like that's the only game he's hurt us. And when I look at it too, today, I don't think he was great or poor. I just think he was just kind of average.
Yeah, it's basically says I criticize Erdegaard for looking as useless as they did today. The thing about when Erdegaard looks bad is he's getting the ball taken off of him very easily. I don't think we've seen it enough from him like that.
I'll give you one moment that pissed me off tonight. Sorry. You had late in the game, Trossard's on, and he's running toward Eze with the ball. Eze's in the middle of the park. He just stood there.
Well, you know what? I thought he was going to pass it to him and then cut it inside for a 1-2, as I told you, because I couldn't believe he was going to dribble the ball to a guy who's open Why would you dribble past the guy who's open? It looks silly. Like
I have
you're looking
no
at
idea.
Eze going, "Why is he just standing there?" Eze's
But I
probably
also
going,
look at
"Why did
Trossard,
you
like, what
pass
are
it
you
to me?"
doing? Like, I'm looking, but
He's
so
dribbling from
look,
the left side of the field to the right side past an open guy.
so again, I know I'm gigging Eze, but I'm also looking at Trossard like, what was that again, dude?
Yeah. No,
I mean,
saw
maybe
that.
he was trying to kill the game off either way, but that's those moments where I see a guy like Havertz, and Havertz is going to make a run. Yorkers is going to make a run. Odegaard might do something with it. But Trossard still does things sometimes, man. Trossard, as good as he is, he's got moments
Trossard
where
and
he just
Martinelli have that brain dead in them sometimes.
yeah. I mean, can you imagine tonight? You know, I'm not joking, but Martinelli was looking at Havertz to give the ball to him, and Havertz is like, no, we want the ball to go in the net right now. Do you know what I'm saying? And let's talk about Kai Havertz. And I want to do this because, you know, I was a Kai Havertz supporter from the day he became here. I'm glad it's worked out. That's all I'm going to say. So
Yes,
I was right.
I know you've been I think you've been trying to get in. What you got to say, Tony? You gonna say anything?
I was going to
Look,
say, why can't you do the 4-2-3-1 with Eze behind Bucharest like you did with Havertz on Saturday? And
He
I
don't
still
trust. He
think
doesn't
that's
play
why.
trust as they to do all the other things that Havertz does.
well, it also came down to what Chelsea was doing tactically. They started out with a back five that turned into like a 4. Their tactics changed. So you kind of have to also answer what they were doing because I think Arteta's mindset in that game was, all right, Chelsea, go ahead. What are you going to do? There's pressures on you. We've got this. So I think that also dictated what Arsenal did today more than anything else.
True. Arteta's not going to take those risks, right? So
yeah, to me, it's unnecessary. Also, you're already up 1-0 in the or 3-2. It was kind of unnecessary. I think Arsenal they tried to get the ball in the back of the net early. I mean, they had a couple opportunities, but you know,
five shots is never enough. Don't care if they're trying to kill off the tie or not.
I don't think we're trying. I don't know. We were trying to kill off the tie, but we definitely weren't playing to like we're playing possession ball, and then eventually that went away when Chelsea realized we weren't going to do anything with the ball, and then it went from being a 60% to 50-50 pretty much, and they basically had more possession of the ball than we did in the game. So, I think it backfired. Let me go. I got to go through these chat, and we have to get out of here. At least Odegaard attempts to press. No, Odegaard presses. That's why I want him on the pitch. If he can't press, I don't want him on the pitch. So that's how I look at that. There was a game, Steven says there was a game not too long ago, maybe 4 or 5 games ago, where Eze looked tired after 20 minutes. It reminded me of Chamberlain when he went to Liverpool. They benched him for a month. Yeah, I mean they did it. They did it for us here. He probably won't, since he started today. He probably won't start on the weekend. And since Kai didn't start today, he'll probably start on the weekend. You know what I mean? So there you go. As they rested, he rested because of the start. Yeah, no, I don't think he'll play he won't start back-to-back games. We've got Stu MC89 in the house. Thanks for joining us. Everything that defines Declan Rice on display tonight: kick and chase masterclass, deep block, numbing bore, a silly Redondo. Oh, yeah, you know what? We can complain. I like Rice, so whatever he does, it works for our team. So he works for us, and he does what we need him to do. So I don't really have too anything bad to say about Rice. So Rice looked like old Stroller tonight. George Graham was nicknamed Stroller. I like I said, I think maybe we played into what Chelsea were going to do today. If they were going to try to punish us, we'll punish them. But yeah, he played about 20 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes against Manchester United. Yep. Yeah, no, I think as you're mentioning there, he just if he needs more time to fit into our system, then I guess so. But
hold on now. I'm watching the highlights, and I just interrupted you, and I apologize for that. But Eze is responsible for that first pass when Nketiah put the ball on target in the first half.
Mm.
Did y'all remember that moment?
Yeah, I do remember the shot. I remember the
All
shot.
right. I
He
mean, I'm
puts too
just
far
saying
corner.
I want to give him his praise.
No, okay. Here's the thing. I'm saying I need like
You
I
expect a
remember
little
the
bit
shot.
more.
You know what? He's creating the pass. He's doing the pass before the shot. I don't see it. Maybe he gets the assist and then I see it. So that's on. So I'm not gonna say it's on Hincapié.
Yeah.
He made a mistake by missing. No, that was a good shot. The goalkeeper makes a really good save. But I just think I want more of that from him. So if he's going to create that, then I want to see more of that. Where I'm like, like it doesn't just happen 1 or 2 times in a
And I
like
think the
90-minute
best way to
period.
say this, your expectation is higher than my expectation from
Yeah,
Isaiah.
I think he's a better player than what he's shown. Is what I think.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I've talked a lot of crap, but I'm being proven wrong. If Arteta gets us to glory, I will be humbled beyond. Look at your team, man. Look at your team. Arsenal defensively solid. We have an attack when we need it. We will score however we the teams allow us, and then we'll just have to go with that. That's just Arteta may take the handbrakes off when, like, say he wins a trophy in a month from now. He may take the handbrake off and go, you know what? I got a trophy. I can go and play a little bit more free, especially towards the end of the season, right? If we're like 10 points ahead in the league and stuff, maybe he'll let these guys play a little bit of football, finish off games sooner. We'll see. Eze needs to rise to the occasion. Yeah, I hope so. I believe. I know it's in there, so maybe the occasion hasn't happened yet. Maybe we'll see it in the final. I think you guys will benefit some player right wings and push left wings. Give something. Yeah, no, for sure. For sure, we just don't have those players, I don't think, or we don't have them healthy, as we can see. Erdegaard, is he injured? Yeah, he got a knock at the end of the game. Didn't practice yesterday, so didn't play today. So there you go. So I think it's not a big issue, but it's
Have they said what it is though?
they didn't say.
They
They just
never
said a
say
knock.
what it is.
They said a knock. Yep. Have winger cross ball. No, we cross a lot of balls. I just don't. I think they, the crosses that I like is when I like when Saka takes his men to the goal line and crosses, as opposed to cuts back and crosses. Whereas I like Noni when he cuts back and crosses, because we've seen a lot more opportunities when he cuts back and crosses. There we seem to be more attack. We're in a better chance to attack. Right. It's been a while since I've seen Saka put a ball on his left foot and put a ball in that gets headed like Noni did. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just what I saw. Something confused there. Get the ball. Yeah. Kyle Havertz happy. Came to the bench. Rich pass. Yeah. Rice with the pass. Yeah. That's how we closed out that game. I mean, it seemed like a matter of time. They were putting pressure on us, and we got the ball out quick. Couple of passes. It was off to Rice with the races. He puts a cross in. I think the ball comes off the defender, but still falls to the feet of Kai Havertz, who makes the goalkeeper come off his line, and then have to make a decision, and got taken to the cleaners. It landed up on the ground as the ball went in the net. Rice, good awareness. Yep. And that's the thing. You should, when you get that ball on the wing there, you should be expecting somebody to be cutting through the middle. Sometimes Gyökeres is there, but we never make that pass. Sometimes Gyökeres isn't there, but he should be. Yeah.
He leads the league and runs in the final third.
You will
Kevin.
stream forever. I'm going to get out of here in a little bit. Yeah. You need at least 4 shots on goal. Yeah, we only got 2 today, so inverted crosses. You can't cross balls, just never cross streams. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get out of here.
That's a pen. Or just rewatch it. It's a pen.
Tony, talk to the people so we can get out of here. Well, at least I can get out of here.
Glad you guys are happy we won. Do wrestling on Thursday.
Oh, check that out. Yes, check out Missile Dropkick.
Royal Rumble was good on Saturday despite some critics stuff. No more AJ Styles. He retired. So be ready for us to play. Hopefully we'll make up for a mistake earlier this season.
Yep. No, that was a poor game defensively against Sunderland. So definitely we need to respond to that game. I think defensively will be better. And now, I mean, it's like we can attack if we need to, if they let us. We'll see. I don't know if in the next game if they have all of their players back. Let's see who we play. Let's see who we play next. See what, if we're gonna see the fixtures. Oh, Sunderland. What is that? Let's see if they have all their players back. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, Ballard is back, so there you go. Robbie will start if that's to be thought of. Yeah, they've got Kai Havertz playing in that middle in the midfield based on that's what um, Foot Mob is thinking. So Madueke and Trossard starting same back line. So there you go. We just changed our front line 2 players. So we shall see. All right,
Must be an
Spencer,
experiment with
what say you?
Havertz and Guterres up front.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So I just rewatched it, and I think it's a penalty, Gary.
Yeah, no, he
And
definitely like, yeah.
you know who made the pass for the Martinelli on that one? As a,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Like I said, I can
Yeah.
only say what I can only, and I did say it. Maybe just we're not converting, but
Oh, it's fine. And I'm not digging it out just to.
yeah, yeah.
But I'm trying to think of moments, and I think if we go back and again, this is what people are gonna do. You know,
You said he like that. That was a good chance. The one to Martinelli. I guess they don't call it a chance because we never get the ball.
yeah,
in
and
the
Hank
position.
Capier as well.
And Hancapier one is a shot for that one's a good. That's probably the good chance they talk
Yeah.
about.
So
But,
again, the Martinelli one probably, if he doesn't get tripped up, is a penalty, or it puts it at least on target, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway, who cares? We're on to Wembley, and
yes.
it doesn't matter today. But no, I appreciate everybody coming by. Thanks for doing this on Tuesday, Gary. That was nice. Monday was always a little bit hard because I'm always dragging. But yeah, excited, ready for the weekend. I'll say this much, and I know you say it with don't waste the trip, and not to be cliche, but enjoy these wins, man. Enjoy these games. We're in a really good time in this club's history, I guess. More to follow, right? Just enjoy it, guys.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
And you're gonna have to wait 20 years for it to happen again.
Well,
Hopefully
what do you
not.
mean?
Hadn't happened yet.
We're not. One, we're not. One, I think is a different Arsenal. So whatever we don't do this year, we will do. Next year because we are a better team than we have been, right? So I'm gonna say whatever you're thinking. Nah, we're better off than we were last year, and we're keep getting better off each year. So I say enjoy this thing because we're doing really good. So everybody else, and we go through this chat real quick, and then we're gonna get out of here. Where are you going? I'm gonna get ready to go. Get ready. Maybe hang out with the boss for a little bit and get some sleep. Get ready for work tomorrow, and do all that. I'm in the curtains. I hope not. I hope not. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Bronco Spencer's going to bed. Yeah. Tony should get some rest, but he's gonna probably watch wrestling. Good show, guys. On to the next game and hopefully a win for sure. Yes, Arsenal. Misfit, Tiger Gooner. What day are you live streaming next week? Should be on this weekend. I think we play, so we'll be probably it'll be a watch along. So it's probably maybe I'll even start a little early. Maybe Spencer can join us before the game, maybe halftime, but definitely afterwards. So that's probably what we'll do because the game I think is if I recall, is at 10, right? I think it's a 10 o'clock game. So yep, 10 o'clock game. Sunderland at home. So there you go. Very nice. And then I think, go from there. I wonder if Crystal Palace stun City. That would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. But we just got to win our game. Got to win. Got to win our game.
Yeah, I don't think Newcastle are going to come back from that. I do think City are shook mentally, given Rodgers' comments. But
yeah, well, the referees probably won't do him any favors.
Well, he did him a lot of favors on Sunday because if you watched, he should have been sent off twice.
Well, they maybe now that they know what's going on, the next ref won't be so kind. So I mean, I think if they have any kind of rules or anything like that, people have said stuff in the past and they've gotten punished, maybe. if Arsenal gets the win, that's kind of what I want. Get the win, and we'll be all right. Have good rest, club. Hopefully, have something to plan. Yeah, for sure. We will soon see City rattle. I think. Well, we'll just keep doing what we got to do. We put more pressure on them. That's we just got to win. Is it on Peacock? It's on that. It probably is. It probably is. I don't know. I don't know. Do they even show whether the games are on? I don't know if they. Oh, you know what? They do show it on.
I
Let's
can
see.
look it up.
Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't say here. I don't think we get to see when the games are on the weekends. Let's see. I can look here. Let's see. Premier League. Oops, that's not Premier League.
Start
Let's see.
moving this
Peacock.
sci-fi, and
Peacock. Sorry. Let's see. No, it's not showing me when the games are. Oh wait, here we go.
10 a.m. our time.
Yeah, no.
9
Match
a.m.
day
Tony.
25. Oh, here we go. It's on. Yeah, it's on Peacock. Yep. So 9:30 is when the coverage starts. So maybe we'll start our show early over the weekend, so we can do that.
Liverpool.
Who City got City.
They have Liverpool at Anfield.
So there you go. So that's right. So they might they could have a bad week. They could lose at home to Newcastle and then go to Anfield and lose. That'd be really nice.
Yep. Could absolutely happen.
So
No,
there you go.
Don't think there's any more NBC games the rest of the month. Gonna be on sci-fi because of the Winter Olympics.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
That's right. That is before starting up. Yep.
All right, everybody. Thank you again for joining us. We'll do this again. I don't know if you guys like the Tuesday. Maybe I'll do Tuesday, but we'll see how that all plays out.
We could talk about it. I mean, if
Yeah,
Tony's up for
we
it.
can talk about it and see if Tuesdays it doesn't interfere with wrestling. I think so. Maybe Tuesday's the day. We'll see. I think I liked. I don't know why I like Monday because it was after the. Yeah, it might work. It might work. So we'll see. Yeah, it might work. Tuesdays might work because usually if I'm going to go away on a vacation, I'll go away on a Monday. I'll come back on a Monday. So, and then I push it to Tuesday anyways. That's what I've been doing. So yeah, maybe we'll see how it plays out. Thank you again for joining us. We'll do this again. If you haven't already, subscribe and like and all of that. And we'll see you guys on the next one. And we're out.
Life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. There you go.